Shalawam, shalawam,
Hello.
shalawam.
Yep. Another Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Hey, baby. You know, but it's gonna get better. I'll just say that. Gonna be a few changes in the next few weeks. And we're gonna show love to our people, especially people like Wana who wants us to be there on 24/7. Like we're not on running on a marathon. Just keep going like an Energizer bunny.
Right. Shalawam, sister. Shalawam, everybody.
I don't know anyone.
Okay, so first and foremost, I am Ambassador Dadiah, and to my left or my right is Ambassador Yediah. We are A.O.C, and first and foremost, we want to give all honor and praise to the Most High for gathering us together here on this so-called Wednesday to bring out some scriptures and bring out some awareness and let our people, be informed, be edified to the best of our abilities through the Spirit. And maybe we're going to go through Exodus a little bit, take a little short walk through Exodus. Upon reading, there's similarities that we go through that we went through in Egypt as well.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, we're gonna be walking in the wilderness like our ancestors did before we got into the kingdom. So we have to remove certain things from our bodies before we get in. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to move correctly and remove some leaven from ourselves before we can be allowed to walk in. You know, and that's
Con.
before every Passover. We have to do that. You know, go ahead, Lord.
No, yeah, con, and that's why it's good and it's essential that we practice these righteous acts. Because we're going to be come to a time we're going to have to do this all off memory. Yeah, so we have the time to do it now. So we're definitely gonna keep on waking up our people, and hopefully more of our people do it, man. And we see more signs because the Most High is showing the signs here that this kingdom's almost over.
Almost over.
So with that, we'll take it from the first chapter. Take it from the first chapter.
What you need?
We're gonna go to Exodus, the first chapter. And then we will skip down to verse 6. Verse 6, and then we'll read. Yeah, God.
Exodus chapter 1, verse 6. Sorry. And Joseph died, and all his children, his brethren, and all that generation.
Come. So Joseph was in Egypt, right? And then he begot all of his sons and his lineage and his lines now in Egypt, right? But now Joseph passed. Read.
And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceedingly mighty. And
Yep,
the
come.
field
And the land was filled with them. So that's how we are here in America, by way of forced how do you say that? What's the word I'm looking for? Like we had to breed. There are breeding farms, but our numbers grew. And they forced us to multiply here in this kingdom. In the beginning of America, right? So we were breeding, and our numbers get strong too. And really, everything that they've done to us, we still haven't declined.
And you have to we as a people have to understand there are people that were put in Congress like Margaret Sanger, who brought out Planned Parenthood to limit our numbers. And even before then, during medical apartheid, they was trying to limit our numbers through slavery and basically chattel slavery and making us work in the field and do hard labor. They was even calculating who they was mating the men with the women with.
Come.
You have to understand how evil these people are. Go ahead.
God, I mean, the babies being fed to the alligators in Louisiana. It just goes really on and on. The hair, our beautiful hair, being used as cushion.
Yeah, cushions, pillows to put on chairs.
Yeah,
You could even find them today in the Bible Belt. You look at certain places to buy furniture, like antique shops and those TV shows where they bring in their chairs and their furniture, and they telling them to evaluate those pieces of furniture, and they telling you that it's like $2,000, but if you cut the cushion in and you open it, it's out people's hair.
Yeah, God, that's just appalling. And it's just like that's why they don't want none of that stuff out. They don't want you to hear about some of those things that they've done to us. So, and like we're saying, like there's similarities between this Egypt and America. This is going to be our Exodus too. We got the pyramid in the back, along with the eagle. This is just a culmination of all the captivities that we've been in. So we just gotta get ready and know that the Most High is still dealing with us, and he's about to let it loose on this kingdom too, as well, just like he did in Egypt. Let's see here.
Verse 8.
Yeah, we could go to verse 8 through 10.
Now, Exodus chapter 1, verse 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph.
Yeah, now I'm not going to say we ever had a good president. I'm not going to say that we never had favor, but there were times where we've had our leaders and everything like that, and we've had like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. There was a time where you felt like we were being heard, until they assassinated our leaders,
That's the same.
But there was a time where we thought that we were gonna be a part of this kingdom too, and and it was done just like here in verse 8.
Joseph, because Joseph, like we just read in verse 6, that Joseph died, and all his children, like all the other brethren, was there in Egypt, right? But the new king arose, and they didn't know Joseph. He didn't know Joseph. What happened? The same thing. Martin Luther King died. The next person came up. He didn't know Martin Luther King.
Nope.
Or Malcolm X. He's like, I don't know these people. I never met them. Even if they read about them, they read about those men, and they know what those men were doing. They still didn't care.
They don't know about the civil rights movement. They don't know about any of these calamities. It's like their children just have this amnesia, man, and they don't want to. They don't want to go back in the past, and they don't want to remember. And to know us, you have to know about our history and our past. If you don't, then you don't really know us. You just think that we out here wilding, son. We out here, can't get it together. But once you figure out that you're with the sole purpose for that, then it hits a little bit different. Verse 9.
And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
Right. So is it, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. And we know that we are about to be, well, we know that he's about to be a minority in this country soon. If he's not already.
He's already a minority in skill. Like there's this white woman, right, in the NCAA. She said, "Oh, she scored the most points in the NCAA." Blah blah blah. But there was another woman, Pamela Moore, I believe. I'm not sure about the name, but it was a black woman in the league before the NCAA, and she scored more than 4,000 points, 4,500 points.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's talking about her.
Nah.
All these black players that there's even one black lady, one black player, one of our sisters. It was a player of the year, and she's a coach of the year. I mean, that she's doing it on both ends.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she was women like that. She's like Judith or Susanna bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing it aesthetically. She's doing it on both ends, but nobody's talking about her. They're boosted up this little white woman out of nowhere that's shooting threes. And imagine the girl I'm talking about. Pamela Moore, I believe her name is. She was back in I think it was the 80s or 90s, and there was no 3-pointer. She wasn't threes. All of her points, 4,500 points, is all 2-pointers. I mean, she had to, whether she shot from Haiti or from the free or from next to the free throw line, it was the same points, and she still made more points than this little white woman out of nowhere with her 3,000 points.
God, and you see how when they put old girl Raven Johnson on her from South Carolina, you see how she has shut her down, right?
Come on, man!
So
Like,
so they're just trying to they can't overcome it, man. They can't overcome it.
Trophy. Come on, man. When we see that, like, that's why it's important to understand, like, your people not only look at what they show you, you have to go research and find out. But I digress, Lord.
Yeah, kind of. No. I mean, and we could do a whole bunch of those things where we are more mightier than them. I mean, we see it we see it play out with these fights that we see in the boxing. We see it a lot of times in the athletic matches, where a lot of people, where there's undertones of white supremacy and things like that, especially with the Tyson Fury situation, that white boxer and all that type of stuff, so they definitely do hold white supremacist undertones to it. We end up laying a smackdown anyway, and it's just symbolic of your time is almost up and that you are gonna fall.
Man, listen, I seen a 5'4" dude put a 6-foot guy dude on his butt. Like, like, it don't matter how big you are. The Most High, if the Most High with us, it's over.
Con, because I was about to bring that out too, and I'll just do that because let's get I'll save that.
What
Because
you
I don't
want
want to get too. Yeah, because I was gonna say something. Now I lost it because I was doing too much. But we have our blessings, and the so-called white man has his blessings, right? He has his blessings with the gun and with the sword. That's how he was able to take this land. But we have our blessings too. That's why our name has changed to Israel, because we are the prince of the power. We have favor with the Most High, and we have favor with men. Our power, is not of this world. And we're seeing that play out too. The military arm of this country and his sword is getting weaker. And we even you got to even come into a question like what wars have this country really even won? I think we're just paper giants, because when it really comes down to it, we haven't really even done anything. We haven't even won anything. We just drop bombs on people. But anyway, back to it. So we're in the first chapter, right? Get verse 10.
Verse 10, it reads, "Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land."
Con, and that's got Psalms 83 written all over it. So you can go ahead and get that too as well. But in this country right now, similar to even Rome, I mean, there was a lot of people that were invading the country, just like there's a lot of people invading this country now, and a lot of these people are military-aged men. So, I mean, wouldn't that be something? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but wouldn't that be something if the enemy of our enemy has a I forgot how that goes, but the enemy of my enemy is my friend or something like that. But these people from China, these people from Iran, even Russia, I mean, they have to know that we're not, we don't run this American government, we ain't oppressing them, right? So, but at the same time, they all are confederate against us, and they all want to see us fall. too. But it's going to be weird out to see how that plays out, man. And this civil war that's going to be upon us, and all the pieces that are moving. So it's an interesting time. But anyway, why don't you read Psalms 83, because this is the same thing. It's the same thing.
Psalms 83, verse 1. God standeth, no, Salah. Keep not thy silence, O Lord, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Mm-hmm.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Right. So they're taking crafty counsel against us. The same way we were hearing about this counsel, and come on, let us deal wisely with them. How they noticed how we were grown, and we waxed mightier and mightier, and that we grew in number, and that they were a little bit afraid. So they had to keep us in check. Same thing here. They want to keep us in check. That's why they have the CIA with the drugs flooding in our communities. That's why they have a lot of these bad actors as our people running around doing egregious things, doing things that aren't becoming. Having our women going down a rotten path, having our men go down a rotten path, because we're visual. We're visual creatures, and what we see, we might end up, repeating or emulating. That's why gangster rap was so, so influential. And our people are waking up out of all the tricks and things like that, but they put these things in place to keep our numbers down.
But it's not only that. Sometimes when they see that you can't be like the scholars and people that are very corporate in mind to make that money, they're gonna come at you, and you're trying to get to that money by doing certain things that seem reprehensible, or not even sometimes reprehensible. Sometimes they're looking at you and looking at what you click on Facebook, or what you look at on Instagram, and they just move that algorithm in a way where they find out what you want the most, and they present you with that gift. How many people in the chat seen all those crypto videos or how to make money quick, or stock plays, how to make money quick, or they have suddenly Elon Musk has a quantum AI to make you make money over time without you having to watch the stocks. Where was all this technology like in year one? Where was all this knowledge? Why wasn't all this knowledge given to us in the beginning? Why is it when they're about to hit the fan with the Lord that's when they want to give you what you want, to distract from the path? That's what it is. They're looking at you to give you something that you want, and to raise up that leaven in you, to distract you from the goal. Go ahead, Lord.
God, let me bring out this precept that Wonder Wanna had put up here. Let me see. Can I show it?
It's already there.
Okay, come. So this is Deuteronomy 30:32-7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee. Thy elders, and they will tell thee. Yeah, so that's what time we're in right now too, man. We got to discover the lineage of our forefathers. Because we're in our captivity, and the Most High said in Baruch that we were going to remember ourselves in the lands of our captivity, and that's what we're doing right now. And that's why we're visiting the book of Exodus, and so that's beautiful. I know you put that. I was trying to show you some love real quick. Yo, Ben, y'all, what's up? LOY, Shalawam, brother. Shalawam, may the Most High bless you and keep you.
God bless you, Lord. So what's the next scripture?
Ariyah. Shalawam, family. Shalawam, brother. All right, we good. Tanuja Moore. Shalawam, sister. Shalawam, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. So where we at? So we can go back to Exodus. Exodus real quick. All right. Let's go down. Let's see here. Because I know that it says in the scriptures, Israel's made to serve with rigor, and yeah, we work hard here too. But there's another thing with that I want to get. But before I got a couple more before I get there. Let's go. Let's get 16, verse 16. This happens too. My girl, Dr. Frances Cress Wilson, man, she got the ISIS papers. That's a good read. Talks about the fear of the white man and how he's trying to genetically survive, and and everything like that. So that's the same thing what the brother was bringing out with the eugenics and destroying the so-called black man and how that's going to prevent him from rising up and overcoming if you destroy all the male children for the most part. And that's the same thing that they did in Egypt, that they wanted to do in Egypt. So get verse 19, verse 16.
Exodus chapter 1, verse 16. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live.
Con, and that's a cursor in Deuteronomy too as well. That abortion, Planned Parenthood, how it's set up in just our communities, strategically, trying to get rid of the men and the women. Doesn't matter anymore, right? They took it to another level. So that's a similarity right there. But what did the midwives say? Because you're different. You're different than other people. And what was the reason for this? The midwives, what did they say? Verse 19.
Verse 19, and the midwife said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively.
They are lively. That means they're more fertile, man. They give birth quick. They give birth quick. And they give birth quick, man. And you're more fertile than her. You're more. I know we all have barren issues and things like that with the womb, but hey, Hannah did too. But when she prayed, right, she got pregnant. So sometimes it takes that. But we are more fertile, right, than them, right, and our numbers do increase more than them. I don't really believe that census that they put, so I don't really know what our numbers is, because if they really,
the most told us in the law that we're not even supposed to answer that census. Like that's a law. They're not supposed to know. Only the Most High is supposed to know what our numbers are. He already knows what our numbers are.
Right, God. I would just to let you know that yes, even though we're two races, even though I know one race, I know what it says in the Zondervans are the Hamites, which is with Pharaoh and his kind of, which is with the Egyptians kind of. They're of a darker skin hue. We're different shades of brown, but they're a darker shade of brown, right?
Facial features are very much different.
And the facial features are much different, right? And they have different customs, than us. And I know that before we came out, we didn't have what we were going to have as far as the thou shalt do, thou shalt not do, but it's still a difference. It's still a difference in fertility is what we're seeing here, so we're still different people. Let's get Exodus 4:22.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 22.
Yeah, kind of skip around.
And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn.
Right. So it was kind of bogus, and the Most High is gonna get back Pharaoh for this too as well, because you're trying to kill the firstborn son of all the Hebrews, right before he said that in chapter 4, and he's declaring that Israel is his family, is his son. We're the Most High's family, right? Get Amos chapter 3 and 1.
Amos chapter 3.
3 and 2. Oh no, you can get 3 and 1. You can get 3 and 1. Come on, man. Come on, we just going through the milk, you know. Light work.
Amos chapter 3, verse 1. Hear
Come.
this, that the Lord hath spoken against you, O
Mhm.
children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Right. So he only known he only known us in Egypt, right? He didn't know Pharaoh. He didn't know any other nation of people. He said that Israel was his firstborn, right? So this is a family thing. This is a family thing, right?
And let's see
And when,
how the white man crossed the leagues of desert 40 years or 40, in 40 years without getting sunburned and dying of of the heat. I don't understand. Like, how did they make it to the kingdom? Their skin can't even bear maybe 3 hours under the sun with no sunscreen.
right. And speaking of skin, so we know that Israel is the Most High's firstborn. We
Yep.
know that he's getting ready to raise up Moses. We know that the people are serving in hardcore slavery. They Pharaoh and them. You got a different nation of people plotting and scheming on them, just like how they plot and scheme on us, right? But these people are the Most High's family. What about the color? Because the brother brought up color. That's give me 4 and 6, Exodus 4 and 6, because our people. And it's funny because not all of Israel knew the Most High. The Most High just picked. It's going to be two people. It's going to be Moses and it's going to be Aaron. So in these entries, the Most High is really in his persuasive bag. He wants to impress upon the children of Israel. So he's going to be able to show through Moses. He's going to be able to perform all these signs and all these miracles to be able to wow, and get Israel to be on board,
You're
right?
saying that through Moses, he was doing those miracles, and Aaron was his mouthpiece to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Gone.
But at the same time, he's only dealing with those two people. So if you are a gainsayer, if you are really hard-headed and stubborn, you still might not think it is what it is. You might think that they might be a bunch of magicians or whatnot or whatever because you lack the faith and you're ignorant too as well. But that's the Most High is putting people in our lives every day. That's showing you thus saith the Lord. But it's up to you to kind of believe on that.
Mm-hmm.
To kind of believe on that, and he's showing you signs right now too, as well. But you gotta still believe on that though. And he got him a whole bunch of signs. Hey, if the people don't believe in this, do this. If the people don't believe that your rock can turn into a snake when you cast it to the ground, then do this. So we'll get one of them. We'll get Exodus 4 and 6.
Exodus
which is about
chapter 4, verse 6. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, Put now thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
So it said, so in case you didn't know his color is going to be the opposite of that white snow, which is going to have to be a different shade of brown. All right. So read.
Verse 7. And he said, Put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it turned again as his other flesh.
So it turned again as his other flesh. Turned again as his other flesh. All right. So he had to be a so-called brown, dark-skinned brown, so-called black man. That we've always been saying, right? He had to have been.
And Putin came out with all the artifacts with. So
God.
those people, those
Yeah.
Europeans in America burning their Bible, that ain't going to change that fact. You could burn it. You could put it underneath your pillow. You could put it in your car. You could, put gasoline on it, set it on fire. Well, the Most High is going to deal with you accordingly.
Right. And then the Most High knows us too, because we're so hard headed. Check out what he said in verse 8. Check out what he said in verse 8. Can you read that?
Verse 8, and it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they believe in the voice of the latter sign.
Right. And it said in the other one, if they don't believe in also these two signs, then he said what? To turn the river, to make the rivers, the river water blood upon dry land. So, we're dealing with people, man, that's hard to impress. And the Most High knows that. The Most High knows that. So he's thinking of things that, hey, dude, what can the people, what can my new servant Moses do for the people that they could, convince them that I'm doing these things and that I'm the Lord, that their God that's going to deliver them. Because I heard their prayers and I know the captivity that they're in. And I think in Exodus, the 2nd chapter, 2:25, he said he had respect for Israel, and that's ultimately what we want the Most High to have for us, is respect for going through it here in this country, here in America, for all the crap that we've been through. We would love for the Most High to have some type of respect for us and not be disappointed in some of the things that we do here when we
Let's keep it. The Most High listens to those that listen to him. He's not going to just listen to you while you doing all types of things that he's against. Going to strip clubs, going to eat shrimp at Red Lobster, and doing adultery, fornication of all types. And he's I'm not listening to you. Like you could be crying your eyes out. I'm not gonna, give you the gift, all the gifts that I want to give you while you're doing all these things. You have to relieve yourself of this leaven. It has to be removed. It has to be cut out from your diet, which is why, like every year, you have to eat unleavened bread for a week. You even have to clean your house out. No matter if you have bread in your house, you just bought it like a couple of weeks ago. You have to take all of that, throw it away. It don't mean nothing. There's a greater goal here to be had. So you have to remove that leaven in your life, in your body, and spiritually for yourself.
Yeah, calm. And there's a lot to go into it. It's there's a preparation, right? Just like we had to prepare in Egypt, to make our escape. We got to prepare too. We got to prepare these things too. We got to prepare to get ready, man, so we can make this Passover work for us. Get Exodus 6 and 9, because this is the caveat, though. This is the caveat.
Exodus chapter 6, verse 9. And Moses spake so unto the children of Israel, but they hearkened not unto Moses for anguish of spirit and for cruel bondage.
And that's why it's hard to get at our people right now too, as well, because they got anguish of spirit, man. They got a broken spirit. They don't believe in themselves no more. They hate their color. They hate being so-called black. They hate their dad. Well, parents, they just don't like their life, man. And they venting, and you see it in the young children and in the teenagers, that they're rebelling, full of rebuke. They're not compassionate. They don't got empathy or nothing. So it's like you can't tell me nothing, basically, right? Kanye West, right? You can't tell them nothing because they've been through so much. But that's why, in these latter in these latter days, man, hopefully these signs, and hopefully righteous men could get them, to hearken onto the Most High, man, and not let that cruel bondage just be the end of it all. Not just have that broken spirit not be healed. There's a way to do it, and you got to go back into these scriptures, man. To get healed. To know that you're going through this thing for a reason. It's not just, you're just in the hood and that's just what it is and everybody hates you. No, there's a reason for all of this, young man. There's a reason for all of this, young woman. Don't go by the wayside.
There's a flip side to that coin, which is why, like later on, hopefully we'll bring that out. The thin line between the Pharisees and the Sadducees, because on one side of the coin, we have, you're in the hood in the ghetto, selling drugs, doing all types of stuff to make it happen. On the other side of the other coin is people like the enemy and the adversary coming at you. Yo, you could make it to the NBA. Oh, you can make this money. Oh, you can make this. You could do this. You can make this contract. Oh, you can have this and that. Bro, they will come at you, man, to get you hooked on a certain lifestyle so you don't leave.
Yeah.
Be able to give it up. Like, don't get me wrong. We all got to, work and eat. But there's going to come a time where you're going to have to give that up. Are you able to give up that lifestyle for the Lord?
That's why it's harder for the rich man, That's why it's harder for the rich man or somebody that's really I want to say rich, because there's different levels to rich though too as well. There's a lot of different levels to rich, but let's say that you're just really heavily ingrained in this society, and you're in political circles and you're rolling around with like these elite people, man. It's gonna be hard to give all that up.
And
it's gonna be hard to get that up.
Leaven, right? Leaven is basically what from the Bible. I have a Bible concordance Bible, and leaven means seor, right? Which is yeast cake, or swelling by fermentation. Now, fermentation is used to make alcohol. Now, what do drug dealers say all the time in the neighborhood? Don't get high on your own supply. Don't get high on your own supply. Don't ferment something that's not beneficial for you. And it's amazing the fact that the Most High used leaven, because if you're stuck in a lifestyle and you're not willing to give it up for a few days for the Lord, because you're saying, "Oh, I've been working at this, doing that, and I want to ferment my leaven or my bread to fruition rather than doing the work of the Lord," then you really attached to that lifestyle. You don't want to quit it.
Yeah. Con. Yeah, you gotta let it go, man. We gotta let it go. But some of our people are still kind of trapped in those snares and those traps in this kingdom. So it is unfortunate though. So sometimes you dig a hole so deep for yourself, it's real hard to get up out of that thing. But anything is possible in Yahushua for sure. But there's going to be a degree. There's going to be a degree of difficulty too. But that's why you have a team. That's why you have a family. That's why you have.
I'll throw you a rope or a ladder.
Yeah. The Most High gonna throw you a rope. But in Isaiah, I think it says that we pull ourselves farther and farther away the more that we sin. So it's of our own doing how big and deep that ditch is, right? Because of our errors and our continual errors. But the Most High is merciful, and He's given us grace to get it right. So it's never too late. It's never too late to wake up. It's never too late. It's never too late to wake up and to rehearse the righteous acts. It's never too late to wake up and to crack open your the scriptures. It's never too late, man. It's never too late to hit brothers up and ask questions, and to kind of get involved and know where Passover is going to be at. It's never too late for that. You could always do something.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, there's a will, there's a way. Con. Right. So that when I was reading that I definitely had a lot of respect for, because a broken spirit, you're going through things in this kingdom. Sometimes you're not going to want to hear anybody, but that's why you got to humble yourself down. Because even though you don't like that job, you still got to listen. You still got to listen to that boss that you don't like. So why not have that same energy on the outside of work to listen to somebody, especially when they come up with "Thus saith the Lord." But let's go back 1 second. Let's go to Exodus 5:18. Exodus 5:18.
Exodus chapter 5, verse 18. Go therefore now and work, for there shall no straw be given you, yet shall ye deliver the tale of bricks.
Con. And why did he say that? Go up one said. Go up one.
But he said, that's chapter 5, verse 17. But he said, ye are idle. Ye are idle. Therefore ye say, let us go and do sacrifice to the Lord.
So the Pharaoh thought he was slick. He was in his bag, and he was like, "Yo, you got time? You got idle time to go and serve the Most High? Okay, well then you got time to make bricks with no straw." And they couldn't do it. But that's what our country expects us to do. To make nothing out of something.
And
To
that's
make
with
something out of nothing. To make something out of nothing with no straw.
no.
We go to school with no books, right? Pages ripped out. Old edition don't even matter, right? We don't got no facilities here in our communities, but we're expected to go out and compete with the best of them. We don't got no straw. We working with no straw, man. But yet, time and time again, our people still make bricks here in this country, and we still make it work here in this country, man. That's a testament to the Most High, because this country doesn't play fair. Just like Pharaoh wasn't playing fair, this country don't play fair neither.
No.
Country don't play fair neither, and that's what I got up out of that. Exodus 5:18, man. There was no straw given to us. We don't got no shortcuts in this country. We didn't have no shortcuts in Egypt, man. We had to get it. We had to get it, man, by any means necessary. You know. Yeah, so that was that. Yeah, man, they want us to make it out with no resources. Right? We don't got no resources, man. But it's okay. All we need is the Most High. All we need is the Most High, man. And look at us, man. Look at how far we came with that quote unquote no straw. with the Homestead Act, the redlining, you know, just the constant sabotages of our people economically and socially, right? Can't even gather together, or else it's a threat. All right. Get Genesis 43 and verse 32. Yeah, they even like to segregate themselves, the Egyptians, when it
Genesis
came to. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Genesis 43, verse 32.
Con the one, Con.
And they set on for him by himself,
Mm-hmm.
and them by themselves, and for the Egyptians which did eat with him by themselves, because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews, for that it is an abomination unto the Egyptians.
So it said, because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews, for it is an abomination. Just like it was an abomination for the so-called white man to share a bathroom with the so-called black man. It's whites only, blacks only. You different establishments. We don't eat, we don't commune, we don't buy and sell from one another. Right, everything's separate because it's an abomination. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Same thing, different time. Same thing, different time, different kingdom. But they doing the same exact thing. Go ahead.
And then imagine, like, even back then, we were more fruitful in the 1930s and on, having multiple children and doing all that when we were segregated than now. After a certain amount of leaders came about, they ate that leaven from the Romans, from the Greeks, from different people that were around them, and they brought the people to be Hellenized, basically. And being Hellenized means to accept their customs, to accept their way of life. And that's what Yahushua was warning us on many times. We'll bring that out later, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, con. We'll bring that up. I'm almost pretty much done with this portion. But so let's talk about the signs, because we need signs here in this country, and we've been getting them too. But what about Egypt, man? Let's get Exodus 7 and 11. Exodus 7 and 11. Oh wait, Exodus 4 and 17. Let's get Exodus 4 and 17.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 17. And thou shalt take this rod in thine hand, wherewith thou shalt do signs.
Yeah, thou shalt do signs, man. Now we don't have Moses here, and that we don't have a rod that we could do signs with, but the Most High is taking over for that. The Most High is showing us signs. He's giving us earthquakes and tremors, and Lord knows what's going to happen this hurricane season. Woo! I have no idea what's about to go on. So y'all better buckle up down there, in that on that East Coast, that Southeast Coast, man. That's probably going to be wild. What else? The eclipse that just happened, right? I just seen the crescent last night was at the bottom too, as well. The crescent of the moon was at the bottom again. So I was like looking at that, like, wow, that's exactly what they was looking at in Babylon before it got destroyed. And I was just staring at it for like 5 minutes, man. And it was real beautiful, man. It was like the sun was still kind of creeping down, and it was still kind of like a baby blue out. And then you could see it as clear as day. You could see it as clear as day. But yeah, man, the Most High is going to show us signs. But why? But why? Give me 1 Corinthians 1 and 22.
1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 22. For the Jews require a sign, and they seek after wisdom.
Come on, man. So the Jews are going to require a sign. Why? Because we stiff-necked and hard-headed. And there's probably going to be people that we're going to wake up in the last day, because of a certain sign. I'm like, oh, okay, that's it.
Nah, you're not getting no sign but the sign of Jonah.
Right.
Nah. Yo, if you can't see that, if you can't see what's going on,
man,
what's going on, because even Yahushua said he's gonna come like a thief in the night, man. Like,
yeah, he is gonna come like a thief in the night. He is, man.
Right, so
I just hope that these people, man, are not just as stubborn, right, as Moses, because what did Moses say in Exodus 4 and 1? He said, and Moses answered, said, but behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice, for they will say, the Lord hath not appeared unto thee. Right. And that's why he was like, yo, go to them and cast the serpent to the ground. Yo, go to them and turn this water into blood when you spill it on the ground. Go and I'm gonna turn your hand leprous. Go and do this, go and do that, so that they know. Because that's the type of people. We got a tough audience, man. We got a tough audience. But y'all better stop being so dang tough now, because the train's about to leave. The train's about to leave, People
don't have their oil in their lamp. Like,
yeah, they don't got that oil in their lamp.
The parable of Yahushua and the 10 virgins, they don't have their oil in their lamp. And they're walking around thinking that the shop is going to be open when the Most High come, when that shop is going to be closed.
Con. It's like, are you still there? Like, no, I was here. I was here every day. Every day for this past year. And you always pass by, but you never went up in this store. I sent you friends, family, all that type of stuff to go into this store to come and see what it was, and you never did.
They see brothers out there in the street. We are the sign of Jonah. We here, like Jonah was told. Most I told Jonah to go to Nineveh and tell him that the city is about to be destroyed. Tell him to repent. From the king all the way down to the peasant, everyone repented. They repented. But we have like you said, we have a tough audience. Some of them, they don't want to hear, they don't want a sign. And you're not going to get no sign but the sign of Jonah. Like, we have signs. We have things going on right now. If they can't see that or what's going on, I mean, what more do you want? What more do you want?
Con. I mean, what, because we got too much stuff going on this phone. We missing everything. We just on the phone, man. We got to get up out of there. That's why the Most High is on the phone too. He's spreading this thing that's going viral. Things is going viral.
You
And
think
if you and hopefully you can't miss that.
accident? You think Putin came out with all them Russian icons by accident?
Nah.
That man knows what he's doing, man. He waking up the people. I mean, Russia's the only country that's never invaded Africa to take
Never
resources
has lived.
by
Yeah.
force. They never invaded like that. So they
Yeah.
know what's going on.
And they be letting our people over there too. They let Big Daddy Kane over there to do a little hip hop. They like that the original hip hop. Putin don't let nobody come over there unless they with it. I think Mos Def was over there too, doing a song, doing a concert. So I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with him. Yeah, I think he's trying to have a favor. Like, let me win this war. I'm gonna tell him exactly who you are. I just
Listen,
these damn Khazars. I need to win against them.
The Most High said that I would treat the enemy. He would treat the enemy towards us, meaning that the enemy is going to help us against other enemies.
Come.
You know what I'm saying? So it's if he's
the
helping
enemy
us,
of my enemy is a friend.
do your thing, Putin. You spreading the word. You getting people angry. The right people angry. Go ahead, do your thing. It's supposed to happen.
All right, come. Let's go back to the chat. Let's talk to one. Every 10 years, the kid gets worse. Yeah, Con. 2,000 babies are worse than the 90s, who are worse than the 80s.
There's a scripture about that in Second Ezra, chapter, I believe, chapter 5. Talk about like the times the children of before would be the children that come after would be weaker and would get weaker and weaker and weaker.
Yeah. We'd be like, what? They're gonna each generation is gonna wax wicked and more wicked than the next one. Con. You know, because like I said, like we're visual learners. So if you know the children see me and I'm out here going crazier than what I've seen when I was younger, the men doing or the women doing, then the children are gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna try to outdo this brother that outdid what he's seen, and it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So I mean that's why, man, this thing is very militant, man. We gotta be militant. We gotta guard ourselves, guard our spirits, kind of like we garden the lighthouse. You know, we gotta be militant, man, because we coming out of this thing like an army. That's why we gotta be good soldiers for Hamashiach Yahushai. That's why we gotta endure like how a soldier endures. You know, a part of that sniper training, they gotta stay awake for like 3 days. They gotta do crazy stuff. You know, you gotta go through some things because the battle that's about to take place is gonna test and push your limits. So that's why you train so rigorously like that, you know. And that's why as soldiers for the Most High, we gotta be training vigorously and consistently as far as these righteous acts. Let's get Exodus 6 and 26.
Exodus chapter 6, verse 26. These are that Aaron and Moses, to whom the Lord said, bring out the children of Israel from the land of Egypt, according to the armies.
So like armies, divisions, like we coming out this thing in formation. All praises to the Most High. We coming out this thing in formation, you know, accordingly. You know, that's why it's okay to have a little bit of militancy in you, to have a little bit of discipline, man, because we got to be disciplined in this thing. Let's see here. Let's get something else. I'm almost finished, and then we're gonna go to Genesis 12, and then I'll let you rock too. Let's see here. What else we got here? So differences in the people. You know, our curses. We have these curses that define us here, right? We're always in the ghettos. There's nothing going right in the cities that we're in. We got to buy and sell off of other people. But, you know, in Egypt, you know, these plagues that were happening, it put differences between us, the Israelites, and a Pharaoh and the Egyptians. So let's get some examples on that. Let's get Exodus 9 and 4. Exodus 9 and 4.
Exodus 9, verse 4. And the Lord shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt, and there shall nothing die of all that is the children of Israel. Children's
Right. So why? And then they said, "There shall nothing die of all that is the children of Israel." So why, when this nation goes through it and goes through the calamities and goes through all its plagues that it's going to go through, like famines and pestilences and diseases, why do we have to be afflicted along with them, especially those that are of the 1/3, that are of the elect, that are trying to qualify ourselves, that's been practicing the righteous acts, that's been, doing our thing in this truth. Why should our cattle or our food go rotten when when um when these other nations that are here, when their food spoils, right? Why does if the power grid shuts down, why can't I have why can't the Most High have a little bit of light somewhere in the house kind of go off, and light up my house versus everybody else's that are unbelievers, that are heathens, that are Gentiles? You understand? So why can't we be different as far as what's going on in this country, what's going to go on in this country in the future? The curses that come on this country, why don't have they just go on all of us? Why can't they just go on so-called Esau and these other nations, right? Since we've dealt with everything in this country as far as all the bad, when it comes time for the Most High to put on these plagues and everything, why do we have to go and suffer through those too, right? Shouldn't that just be for them? Let's get another one. I think it's 10. 10. Don't know the right choice. No, that's not it. 23. 10, 17. Then that too. Yeah, let's get 10 and 17 too. Let's get 10 and 17 too, because these people always want you to pray. Always want you to pray for them, don't they?
Mm.
Every time something happens, they pray for me, because they know that they had no power there and they got no connection. They don't have any connection. So they use you to pray. That Catholic Church uses you to pray. That's why Joe Biden and them are going in them churches and getting prayers and getting prayed on. Right? But that ain't working no more, man. Your blessings up, man. Your blessings up. But anyway, get that.
Exodus
This is Pharaoh. This is Pharaoh saying this.
Exodus chapter 10, verse 17. Now therefore forgive, I pray thee, my sin only this once, and entreat the Lord your God that he may take away from me this death only.
Come on. And the thing is, he's lying. He's lying because he says it a couple of times. And once it's gone, once you back good, Pharaoh, you back on your BS. You get back on your BS, right? You get back on it. As soon as, okay, everything's cool. Okay, I ain't got no frogs in the house. I ain't got no locusts in the house. All the lights is gone. Okay, cool. We back on it. Okay, punish them. What y'all think this is? Punish them. I don't care. I don't care about your God. Yeah, get him off me. Yeah, that's right. I'm the Pharaoh. Okay, punish him. And it's crap, because that's what this country does too. Oh, let me get your vote. Let me get your vote. Pray for me. Give me some blessings. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And they dip on us.
Let's get that Black Lives Matter meeting. I promise you. Vote for me.
Yeah.
Blessings. Get me your support. Get me your vote. Get me your keep your eyes on me, and I promise you I'll help you out. That's what, still our people eating that leaven, man. Eating that food from this world. They get that they're gonna help you every time. I ain't seen no Black Lives Matter meeting yet.
God.
I ain't seen them sit down at the table and say, "Yo, we're gonna do things, get things ready." And even if they did, where does all that money went to? They went to wickedness.
No.
Wickedness in America, wickedness in California. The lady bought herself a house. She bought a $8 million piece of property in Toronto for her wife. Wickedness. And these people bought in. They bought in and they won't care about nobody else but themselves. They bought that leaven and they ate it whole. And I don't care about nobody else. I don't care about my people, my black people. I don't care.
Let's get one more entry on the curses and how they separate us and put a difference between us. Because who says that we got to go through the latter end of this country's curses? We're good. We done served our curses, man. We done served our curses. When this country gets there, it doesn't mean that we, our food got to go. Our resources have to go. You understand? It doesn't mean that has to be at all. It doesn't mean that has to be at all. Give me and there's more on that. I know I'm just trying to skip around because we want to get into verse 12 or chapter 12. Let's get verse 21. Let's get verse 21.
Exodus chapter 12, verse 21. Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said unto them.
8 and 21. I'm sorry.
8 and 21.
8 and 21. 8 and 21.
Exodus chapter 8, verse 21. Else, if thou wilt not let my people go, behold, I will send swarm of flies upon thee, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, and unto thy house, and into thy house, and the houses of the Egyptians shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground whereupon they are.
Right. So the Most High is saying he's going to send swarms of flies upon the Egyptians, and who knows what the Most High is going to send here, Right now he's sending swarms of sleeper cells in this dang country. At least that's what I think. Military age men coming here from China and all these type of things. You know how much money you got to have to do what they're doing. You got to have a backing, man. So something real fishy is going on here. But anyway, he said that he was going to send flies upon them. Verse 22, what did he say?
Verse 22. And I will sever in that day the land of Goshen, in my people dwell, that no swarm of flies shall be there. To the end thou mayest know that I am the Lord in the midst of the earth.
God, so he said that no flies is going to be there, and where the people where they dwell. So as far as Israel, these plagues don't touch, but everybody else they do. Because it says in 23, I will put a division between my people and thy people. Tomorrow shall this sign be. So I'm just hopefully wishfully thinking that when the Most High does send his signs here on America, that they're going to put a division between his people and the 2/3 and the rest of the heathens, so that they know and that we know, right? When he's sending these signs. But with that, and the Most High is not going to be mocked. There's not going to be magicians, right? Read 19. Read verse 19 up a little bit. 18 and 19. 18 and 19.
Exodus 8, verse 18. And the magicians did so with their enchantments to bring forth lice, but they could not. So there were lice upon man and upon beasts.
Right. So that's what in verse 17 he said Aaron stretched out this hand, man, and with the rod, and there was lice upon Egypt. But the magicians can't do. Later on, the magicians weren't able to do what the Most High was able to do. I think in another one, when they have boils on their feet, they couldn't physically even stand to even try to perform that, man. Listen, man, the Most High is not going to be mocked. There's going to be things that's going to happen in this country that's not going to be easily explainable. The supernatural is going to be too super and not enough natural to even explain some of the things that's going to go on in this country. And what did he say though? What did the magicians say when they couldn't perform this thing in verse 19?
Verse 19. Then the magician said unto Pharaoh, this is the finger of Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he hearkened not unto them, as the Lord had said.
God. That's all they gonna say, man. This is the finger of God, man. And some people have been hit to this eclipse as being the finger of the Most High, because it's just like I was watching the eclipse and it felt like it was going slow, but it felt like it was steamrolling like a train just to get paired up with the sun, and then as soon as it got synced up, it just froze. Like all the momentum, I mean, I just felt like it was moving steadily, and all of a sudden it just stopped. And then it kind of boop, and then you see the sun kind of be out of it. I'm like, oh, it's moving again. So that can, well, there's no way that sun, I mean, that moon just held up in place for that long, stopped its momentum, and then said, okay, come on, man. That was definitely the finger of the Most High doing that.
I mean, in the scriptures also, the Most High turned back time, and it's on one point. He did. I mean, because he showed with the shadow. I think it was Isaiah. He showed him the shadow to turn back time. It's like, yo, when you see that, come on, man. Like you can't even play that, man. Like we're talking about a being that who controls and created the constellations. He controls them at a high level. You look at the Almighty Father just moving constellations and putting in a position to give you a message. Remove that leaven from yourself and get ready. Get ready, bro. Like people
Is
like
that Isaiah 38:8?
I believe.
Oh, let's see that. That's interesting. I think they had like 2 entries of this.
Yeah, he would turn back time. The shadow would go backwards. Went backwards.
So he said, and this is beautiful too, right? So he said, and this one, he's talking about Assyria. So this is Isaiah chapter 38. And I will deliver thee in this city out of the hand of the king of Assyria, and I will defend this city. Verse 7. And this shall be a sign unto thee from the Most High, that the Most High will do this thing that he has spoken. Behold, I will bring again the shadow of the degrees, which is gone down in the sundial of Ahaz, 10 degrees backward. So the sun returned 10 degrees, yes, by which degrees it was gone down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gone.
Well, like all these things is like it's light work for the Lord. Light work, but he's doing it for a reason.
Con, that was beautiful. Yeah, I got that in my bag. Okay, cool. Yeah, Con, I mean, and he's using the moon right now for this captivity, and he was using the sun for Assyria.
Assyria.
And in Egypt, he was just cracking open. He was just testing his bag out. He was just saying, okay, hold on. Now, there's a deeper thing with the plagues. I know he was doing battle with all of those Egyptian gods. And, the people were finding out slowly and surely that their gods didn't mean nothing. That's why when it came time for them to give over their goodly things to us, their clothes and their jewelry, which is a form of recompense, which is a form of reparations, because the people respected Moses because they knew that their gods and their pagan idols weren't nothing compared to the power of Moses's God, So they have respect for him, and they were fearful of him. Because right before the Passover was celebrated, man, he was going to usher in taking away Egypt's firstborn. And so let's get that in chapter 12. And then I'll let you rock with 11 as well. But let's get Exodus chapter 12. Let's see what I want. So, I mean, we can go We can go to. I want to see here. Yeah, we can go to 2. We can go to 2. 2 to 6. 2 to. Dang. Yeah, 2 to 8. 2 to 8. We can go to 2 to 8 just so we can get the full thing.
Exodus chapter 12, verse 2. This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you.
So this is the month of Abib. This is the beginning of the spring equinox, and it's funny because this is the last plague that's gonna get him up out of there. And during this last one, he was like, "Hold on, this one is gonna be so glorious and terrifying that y'all gonna have to remember this one." So we gonna set up this feast day right now before it all hits. Before we up out of there, because they gonna make haste to get you up out of there after I do this one. So Moses and Aaron, tell these people. And what did he say? Verse 3.
Verse 3. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers. A lamb for an house.
And a lamb for a house. Skip down to 5.
Skip down to what?
Verse 5.
Verse 5. Your lamb shall be without blemish.
Mm-hmm.
A male of the first year you shall
Right.
take.
Right. And a male of the first year, right? Just like Israel is the firstborn, right? It's taking the male of the first year, right? You shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats. And then what did it say in verse 6?
And ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening.
So it said the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. And then what they're going to do? Verse 7.
And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the 2 side posts and on the upper door posts of the houses, wherein they shall eat it.
Verse 8.
And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it.
So during the service, we'll do exactly that, man. We'll eat it. We'll eat the Passover with the bitter herbs too, as well. And then how shall we eat it? Verse 11.
And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover.
Con. Read up. What would we do after with all the innards and all the remains?
And verse 10, and ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning. And that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire.
And that's very tedious. I know that we was in Houston, we was having a good old time with them innards burning. But that's basically what this Passover is. And this is what it consists of. Verse 12.
Verse
12. Oh, no, wait, hold on. Yeah. Because why? Because why? Why are we doing this? Verse 12.
For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord.
And that's what he's been doing the whole time. He's been executing judgment of all the gods of Egypt with all of those plagues. So he's really bringing down Pharaoh and Egypt and their culture, their pantheon of deities. He's really bringing them down low. He's saying, man, y'all ain't nothing. Y'all's just spittle, like a drop of the bucket. Your gods ain't nothing. They have no power. And my servant Moses, who could barely talk, has been whooping y'all behind with this staff that I gave him. Okay, and he's about to do it one more time. And this time, I'm going to take your firstborn. You wanted to take my firstborn? Israel's my firstborn. I'm taking your firstborn, and I'm taking the wild animals. I'm taking the livestock. You mean to tell me that somebody could just go to everybody's house and figure out who was the firstborn dog, who was the firstborn ox? That's wild, So that's got to be of the Most High to actually know that when He sends down that death angel to do this work, man. The angel knows who's the firstborn of everything, man. That's miraculous. That's terrifying too, as well. You cannot hide from the Most High. You definitely cannot hide. In verse 14 it says, "And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and you shall keep a feast unto the Most High throughout your generations," just like how we keep it right now. That's why we got to keep it right now. "And you shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever," not until 2020. No. It says forever. It says forever. Oh, this was 2,000 years ago. This doesn't forever. We should keep it forever, right? And then we should also observe the feast of unleavened bread after that too, right? But that's why. But you can go ahead and add to that, King. You can go ahead and add to that.
I mean, there's not much to add. That's a commandment. I mean, what can you say? I'm not gonna go.
All right.
Like, after everything the Most High did for you, you're not gonna go. Like, man, whatever happens after that is, you can't blame the Most High if He look at you side-eyed for not going. You know what I'm saying? So it's a situation that is very tenuous if you don't want to go. You walking on eggshells at this point. I understand if you don't know. That's why we're here to bring it out to help our people understand why it's so important. Because like most time, Yahushua might come back like a thief in the night, man. I mean, if you understand the significance of this eclipse and the fact that in Egypt there was also an eclipse, and people, like you brought out, people was dying. Like people, like we took what the Most High's ordinance seriously. Take hyssop and blood from the lamb and put it on the posts and lintels, and the death was passing through, and we were singing and eating lamb and ready to get it going. If we knew that Most High kept His word, I'm gonna keep mine. I'm gonna eat this lamb, eat this bitter herb, and when the Most High give us the command to leave, we out.
Con. And the thing is too, and this is why it's good. This is why I like this one the most, because it's just a mental preparation of it all. Like the leaven, it signifies sin almost in a way, right? And then removing all the sin out of your house. So read 15. Read 15.
Exodus chapter 10, verse 15. For they covered the face of the whole earth, so that the land was.
I'm sorry, 12 and 17. I mean 12 in Exodus chapter 12 and 15. Sorry.
12 and 15. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. The first day ye shall put away leaven out of your house.
Right. So the first day you put leaven out of your house. So we gotta, man, if you could do that, if you could do it, because I know that brothers is gonna be traveling and whatnot like that. So you might not have time to get that leaven out after Passover. So try to get your house cleaned up right now. Try to get all that leaven out right now and begin that process right now. Try to remove out the leaven out of your heart, out of your mind. Right. Call up old friends or companions. If you haven't talked to your family in a minute, call them up. Say you love you. Say it's all good. And over the summer I'll stop by. Friends and old friends maybe that you have fell out with. You call them up, make amends, right? So there's a lot of things that we could do to so-called get that leaven out. of our house, because our house isn't just our physical house, but I mean, it's our physical house and it's our body too. It's our temple. It's this house. So it's twofold, right? Sometimes the scriptures are twofold. But anyway, so the people were real scared because the so-called white man, he's holding on to his goodly things, man. He's holding on to them. He's not scared of nothing. He's not scared. He's not scared, or we'll see what it gave us reparations. But after what happened to Moses, after what happened to Pharaoh, with that destroyer that was coming around, you're right, taking away their firstborn. Oh man, the people of Egypt, man, and these Egyptians, they were scared of us, man. They were scared of us, and the Most High put something on them to adhere to our requests. So give me 12 and 34, 12 and 30, 12 and 33. God.
12 and 33. And the Egyptians were urgent upon the people that they might send them out of the land in haste. For they said, we be all dead men.
That's what they go say. Oh, we be all dead, man. Oh, snap! Like, oh, my son is dead. Like, oh, man, get these Hebrews up out of here before we all die. So that's what it's going to be in this country. Like, man, what's happening here? Hey, man, are these people really the people? Mr. President, are these people really the people? And are we messing around with the other people that ain't the people? Because if these so-called black people and these Negroes here, man, let them go. Shoot.
Man, they're gonna basically bring about Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5. Because they're gonna say, yo, are these the people that the Most High chose? Like, nah, it can't be. Like, yo,
Nah, it can't be.
The scripture said they're gonna be a gnashing of teeth. That means that they're just grinding their teeth together. Like, damn.
They're gonna be like, dang.
Yo, we even seen people basically when they found out the truth and they cross Israelites in the street, they faint. They're literally fainting because they're like, man, I thought I was, this child of God the whole time. I was not even in the conversation.
This woman after the eclipse, she said, God loves us, like, and something. I'm like, man, you trying to project something because you know that you guilty. That's why you got to bring that false assurity and reassure yourself that the Most High loves you. You understand? When in Romans 9:4, that's not the case. In Malachi, that's not the case. In Obadiah, that's not the case. Taylor Green said the same thing, but different. She was like, yo, we got to repent. She's a little country. She said, you got to repent. This is a sign. And everybody said that she was crazy. You could see all of the heathen, man, and all the Gentiles, man, of these different nations. They have no idea what this means. They think it's a big joke. They think it's just a big joke, man. It's a big joke. But the joke's really going to be on them. Read 34, verse 34.
Verse 34. And the people took their dough before it was leavened, their kneading cloth being bound up in their clothes upon their shoulders.
That's why we had to eat unleavened bread, man, because it was urgent, man. Like the Most High just did the drill of the century. You know what I'm saying? He just killed all the firstborn in Egypt, so the people was riled up. So we had to go. Like we can't wait for the dough to rise. We gotta just pack that thing up and go.
We couldn't use the kneading dough to put the leaven in. So it's like, nah, forget the leaven. Let's get it on. Like, you gotta eat that. And it says, like we read before, you have to have your loins girded, boots on, staff in hand, ready to run. Like
ready to run. We gotta do this thing on the run. We gotta do this thing on the run. And what did the children end up doing? It said in 35. Read 35 and 36.
And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses, and they borrowed of the Egyptians' vessels jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they lent unto them such things as they required. And they
Con, con,
and they
con. So I mean, we talk about the reparations and everything, man. Wait till the Most High, wait till the Most High unleashes some of these plagues, and then we'll talk about, you know, how these devils feel about giving us what we rightly deserve. Because it's gonna come, by blood too. They're gonna have to get it like that too, you know.
now it's not only America. I mean, in Japan,
Japan, yeah.
and you would, I mean, the way the earth was shaking, I don't know, because it looked to me like something is trying to come out from underneath that place.
Godzilla, that they in the fight, they're trying to come out.
Get that place. Like something is knocking at the door. Like, I want out. I'm coming. Like, yo.
Right. Cause y'all, I seen them CGI. Y'all ain't doing me justice. Hold on, let me show them what I'm really about. But something in that water wants to show itself.
I'm telling you,
man. And you know that Southeast Asia be getting it hard. Like they get it. They get it really bad with them earthquakes, mudslides, typhoons, tsunamis, all that. They get all of that. So when the Most High turn up, it's gonna be done for them. They're gonna be done. They might as well move mainland somewhere, because it's about to be a wrap. I know we got these fault lines here in Illinois. Man, I wouldn't take it past none for the Most High to split the Mississippi River in a couple pieces, man, and have that water just fall into the earth, man. You know, you never know what's going to happen here, man. It's just going to be a combination of things. But I'm going to give Proverbs 3:13-22. It says, a good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. So, you know, we could talk about all that reparation stuff, man, but the wealth of this country, the wealth of this government, the wealth of the United Kingdom or Great Britain, the wealth of France, the wealth of Europe, man, it's the wealth that's in the Vatican, man, it's all going to be laid up for us. It's all going to be laid up for us.
Fort Knox ain't going to be enough. They're going to put guards in there. They're going to open the doors. They're going to say, we're going to give you all this gold for you to leave. To leave. Marcus Garvey tried it. They won't let us leave. But now with the Most High Yahweh, they're going to want us to leave, and they're going to pay us to leave. And just like the Egyptians, they're going to be like, nah, we can't let these people leave. Man, come on, man. They got all our money. And they're going to try to come at us?
Yeah.
Think about that.
I know when the one was talking about something, imagine being here when the Most High releases his power to the Trojans to destroy the 2/3. Yeah, that's, you know, that's something, man. There's going to be a whole bunch of different types of works, man. You know, we just pray that we get in that number. I know someone was talking about some, I don't agree with it at all. I forgot who the brother is, but he was critiquing somebody or critiquing a particular congregation, but I guess he was coming at them for the Passover maybe being too extravagant or something like that. But I don't know. I don't know where he was going with it. But hey, listen, man, there's nothing wrong with doing it big for the Most High, because you and me both know that we in the world, we going to the club, we doing like $200 something outfits, we buying $250 J's, we got the chains on, we buying $200 bottles. So you mean to tell me if I have an extravagant Passover that I'm being vain and that I ain't really doing it right and just keeping it is good enough? So I can go and keep it in the backyard alley somewhere. Is that okay? Like, no, man, that ain't okay. I mean, if I got no means, if we got no means to do nothing, and we got to do it outside in a dang trailer park with one candlelight, then so be it. But if we have the means to show that we really love the Most High and we're gonna do it big for Passover, I don't understand why not. Now, if you charge your people the arm and a leg to get up in that thing, that's another thing, you know. Yeah. But if you're doing it big and it's a reasonable price, man, we was in the world doing all the black and white parties we done had. Come on, man. You mean to tell me you gonna shame brothers for doing it big, you know? that wasn't right. So
Yeah.
don't. If you out there and you listen, you come across as man, do the Passover as big as you want, man. Just come in truth and sincerity. Come with a sincere spirit, and don't come and do the Passover talking about some look what I did. Yeah, and be all greedy with it. Don't exalt yourself during the Passover. As far as you bragging about doing that work.
I mean, just
And
in
things
the
like that. But
just
go ahead.
just in the scripture, it tells you that when the host sets up the table, you're not even supposed to take a seat. You're supposed to wait for the host to tell you where to sit. So you can't even exalt yourself to say, "Oh, I'm going to sit here. I want to sit at the top of the altar," and so on and so forth. That's leaven being raised in you. If an elder shall tell you to sit there, well, that's perfect, because the
Come,
scriptures also tell you not to praise thee out of thy own mouth. Let somebody else praise you. So somebody
come.
else will tell you where to sit. It just flows. It makes sense. You
Now
know?
that part about praising yourself, like that part that was he was correct on that. But as far as coming at brothers and sisters for how nice the Passover looked in the video, that was a little off. That was a little off.
You got the means. You want to please the Most High, man. Do what you need to do. Because
Mm-hmm.
we have a large bill to pay to the Most High, and we ain't paid enough. Because
Yeah.
we put our Father through grief, man. Like, let's be honest. For years, a lot of us have been doing things that does not make him happy, and he has to chastise us, and he doesn't want to, but he's a righteous Father, righteous God, the righteous Elohim, the only one. So we have to move accordingly. We just do. And we owe a big bill, especially me as a Levite, man. I owe like so much, man. So I can't even say that I'm not gonna be there. That would be super off.
God, I mean, all praise to the Most High. I haven't missed one yet since I've been in. As far as like A.O.C. style, we've always came up with a way to make it. And so that will continue. We gonna try to outdo the one that was in Houston for sure. I know the one in New Jersey last year was real nice, but I definitely want this one to be the best one yet, at least for me. So the preparation that goes in before is got to be on point. The preparation that goes, and then being tortilla bread. Right, already get in that thing after this Passover, after the weekend, April 20th. Get you some tortilla bread. Start watching. If you drink beer, you can't.
No more beer.
You just no more beer for a little bit. Start getting used to drinking that wine.
Yeah,
because it might slip your mind.
Yeah.
Might slip your mind.
I'm not gonna lie, because I was still a baby in this walk. I made that mistake, man. It was brothers that hey, that has it's fermented, man. It has leaven in it. Got to bring it back.
What's funny? It was funny. On my way to last year's, I was in the airport. I think it was 2 years ago. I was in the airport, and I came to the bar. And I had ordered a beer. But then Daniela hit me on the phone. And I looked and I was like, hey, yo. And I changed it to a glass of wine.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang. See, it's just a natural thing. So you got to cut it off. You got to cut that thing off. Because it says that if you eat leavened bread, that you're going to be cut off from Israel. We've already been cut off from this society. We've been cut off from family. We've been cut off from friends. We've been cut off from a lot of different opportunities. We don't want to be cut off.
The bastion of last bastion, the home of the Lord is the last place who is safe and secure. You don't want to be banished from there, man. It's it's better than the fortress of solitude, man. Superman, you got this joint destroyed. You can't get out.
And the thing is too, man, and that's why I wanted to do this thing as far as the holy days early in my life, because there's probably going to be some mistakes made, right? But at the same time, you look to improve every day, but yearly, annually, especially when it comes to these Passovers. Like, hey, what did I do this Passover? What did I didn't do that I want to do this Passover? You know, how much time do I got? Can I get there a little earlier? Can I stay a little later? You know, and different things like that. You know, who didn't I talk to the last time? Who can I show love to this time? You know, things like that. Things like that. You know, what can we do as a body in the meantime before? You know, and as a body in the meantime after? You know, things like that, man. It's just beautiful, man. It's beautiful, man. But with that being that's pretty much the class to today and tonight. Please like and subscribe and share the video, family. It's been a blessing and it's been quite a journey, and we got a whole bunch more left, man. We still got some track and some tread on these tires, man. And we're gonna keep it rocking till the Most High get back. And yeah, so I just want to say Shalawam, everybody. To blah blah. Have a good rest of your night. May the Most High bless you tonight, man, and have a good night rest. And we'll see you back here on the Friday night class.
Fun.
Shalom.
Shalom.